Next speaker this evening is Gunjan Bhardwaj, who is here from Germany. And I invite him to come here and talk to us about transforming drug discovery and development. Please join us.
Hello, everyone. It's a matter of great honor to me to be here. As it's already said, I represent the India diaspora from Germany. 20 years ago, after graduating from IIT Bombay, I left for Germany. Since then, I've been living there. And if you don't know, in Germany, as in the US, Indian diaspora is the most successful immigrant community. The median income of Indians in Germany is 70% higher than the median income of Germans. Just to give you a context of what Germany is, imagine a meteor is going to hit the planet Earth, and you need to fire a rocket to destroy that meteor. You have an American, a German, and an Indian. The American is concerned about pressing the damn button. There is a significant output orientation. The German says, no, it doesn't suffice that you press the button. What is more important is how you press the button. And then comes the Indian. He says, it doesn't matter whether you press the button and how you press the button. What is important is who presses the button. What we have tried to do in the past years is to combine the process prowess of Germans. Germany was called the pharmacy of the world. It has some of the most phenomenal drug discovery and development capabilities with the AI prowess of India to create Partex. Just to give you a sense of the genesis, after graduating and working in Germany, like many middle-class Indians do, once you get on a good consulting track, you feel the nirvana. And Arun Sareen very rightly in one of the Pan IIT events in Santa Clara some years ago had said, at least then the problem with Indians is that they get satisfied too soon. Who taught all the German I speak today, was diagnosed with cancer. That triggered a journey which became the company that we have today. If you look at the usage of AI in various sectors, the most astonishing fact is AI or deep tech has just scratched the surface of healthcare. It is just on the surface, and I believe, and many believe, that it's one of the most important sectors where AI can really create significant value. For some of you who do not know, today global pharma sales stand at $1.3 trillion US, and they are growing unsustainably at 6% compounding annually. 9 out of the top 10 cancer drugs are going off patent in the next 3 to 5 years. 6 out of top 10 in terms of sales. There is this big $350 billion patent cliff. What is even more amazing is most of the AI plays in drug discovery and development focus on the so-called de novo plays. New small molecules, new protein platforms. Even though today, despite having over 18,000 drugs in clinical development, guess how many drugs were approved last year by US FDA? 50. The efficiency in clinical development is not even 1%. It's a shame for all of us, given we are planning colonies on Mars and doing some of the most amazing things, but we haven't even hit 1% efficiency in clinical development. What is even more astonishing is how big pharmaceutical companies and biotechs out-license drugs that they do not want to develop themselves. More often than not, the reasons are not purely scientific or clinical. Why drugs are deprioritized in pharma portfolios. Many a times it's a question of financial returns, or strategy. Overnight, a big pharma company from Europe that had spent billions of euros in building their oncology portfolio said, we are not going to be in oncology. And that entire drug portfolio that could have saved lives just became orphan. Research shows, on an average, once it's decided to give away a drug that a big pharma itself is not ready to invest in, the execution of this out-licensing decision takes 3 to 5 years. It's 3 to 5 years of delay for patients who can see better healthcare outcomes. And mind you, many of these drugs could be $1 billion in sales. Yet, they just are lying around. These inefficiencies relating to clinical development and the in and out licensing process that pharmas and the industry in general follows is, according to McKinsey and Morgan Stanley, a $50 billion per year opportunity for AI. Sadly, not many are focusing on this opportunity. As Partex, we are. And we essentially do two things. We leverage a platform to identify drugs that are great at science, which can be accelerated through phase 1. We in-license those drugs. We put them on a completely different clinical development path, and then give these drugs back to the industry post-phase 1. We also enable others. For instance, there was a case wherein one of the big pharmas was working on a drug, a phase 2 drug on Alzheimer's. We had evidence using AI, our platform, that this drug would actually not work in Alzheimer's, but in a gastrointestinal disease. And we worked together with this pharmaceutical company to out-license this drug within 4 months to someone who actually wanted to develop this drug for that gastrointestinal disease. What do we do different, and what is needed in healthcare? We have heard about the moat being people, being algorithms, being a vertical stack. Today, the moat has only one critical driver, and that driver is data. More and more, we are seeing that if you can collect proprietary data, high-value data, you can create a vertical stack that can really move the cheese. There are two challenges in this, especially with patient data. Of course, we leverage a large knowledge graph, and we have been leveraging publicly available data, proprietary molecular libraries that we have been augmenting using wet lab, high throughput screening. But patient data is the new water, as I learned in this part of the world, because they say oil would finish one day, but water is not going to finish, and it's essential for life. High quality patient data, longitudinal data with sequencing, etc., in oncology sells for up to $5,000 per patient. You may know in 2019, one of the European big pharmas bought a data company that annotated data for 10,000 patients in oncology. They bought this company for $1.9 billion. It's $19,000 per patient. There are companies, app companies, digital health companies that are brokering patients to write clinical studies and charging $40,000 per patient from these big pharma sponsors. And you know what? 90% of the clinical studies fail because they are not able to recruit patients in time. It's not that the drug is not efficacious, the clinical profile is not good. These clinical studies are just not able to recruit patients in time. At the same time, 80% of the patients who can have a shot at life, they are not even aware of these studies. Now imagine if you could create a stack which is equitable, wherein you can aggregate this data getting dynamic explicit consent from patients, giving a lion's share of this value back to hospitals, hospital systems, and patients. And then we don't have this problem that every university hospital, every research institute has a spin-off, a startup that's trying to cook its own AI model. People, data, and compute. But you can take all of this data and train a foundation model, which would really create a difference in the industry. That's exactly what we are doing with NVIDIA today. We have over 600 oncology centers in Europe, Sloan Kettering in the US, we are working with Mayo, UT Southwestern, and we believe it's not just the AI that would make a significant difference in driving efficiencies in this industry, which is much needed, and hopefully driving prices of drugs and therapies down, but it would also bring the patients at the center of the equation because they'll have a real say in how their data is used to train the AI models for this industry. And I would love to have your support, moral, but also if you know hospitals, hospital systems, practices that can contribute data and become a partner of ours in this movement, that would be phenomenal. Thank you.